So I started working when I was 26, and by 28, I'd already gotten to the fashion world. So I'm a trained hairstylist, but makeup is self-taught. So in 1994, the Italian-born French designer Pierre Cardin came into India and did this massive show. Aishwarya Rai, at that point of time, was one of the many models who walked for him. By then, I'd already done Ash's hair in a couple of shows. So even for this show, I did it. So in those days, shows used to happen with minimal staff backstage. It was just one helper and me. And most of the looks were either just blow-dried hair or tied in a tight knot if it were Indian clothes. And Pierre Cardin was open hair. When I was 29 years old, I was bursting with life, very, very enthusiastic about getting on in this field in my life. And I gave it every single thing I had. I used to work in the salon, I used to do shoots, I used to do shows, I used to do all of it. Only hair, no makeup. So on this one shoot, the makeup artist didn't land up. So Harmeet Bajaj, who was styling the shoot, she said, Ambika, do makeup as well. So that was my first ever, assignment. I landed up in Bombay to do a Ritu Berry show for Hemant Trivedi, and as a hairstylist. So I only had my hair kit. And Hemant looked at me and said, do you think you can do makeup as well? And I was like, of course I can. Now remember, I had only done one shoot with absolutely no training. Took an advance of 20,000 rupees from him for the show that I was going to do. Went and bought my first makeup kit in Bombay. So it was just shocking because I didn't know what to buy, what to do. But I did, and went back, and Hemant said, do the first face, Ambika, and then we'll decide if you can handle the show or not. Did the first face, and he said, fabulous, go ahead. Third assignment, Hemant took me on the Sheetal shoot for the ad. Ash being the main star of the shoot. She was a reigning Miss World at that point of time, and I was called in to do her makeup and hair. Anxiety central. I was anxious, but I was also excited. I was really keen on doing this, but I was like, and I knew Ash because I was doing her hair for shows. But then, anyway, so I said, let's just go there and deal with it, First day of shoot, I am setting up my table, opening up my kit and everything. And Ash walks in, sits down. She's very sweet and very polite. And she looks at me and says, Ambika, aren't you a hairstylist? I said, yes. So when did you become a makeup artist? I said, well, just about very recently. So she thought for a while and she said, okay, so why don't I do my own makeup and why don't you do my hair? And, I think I was just too nervous. So I said, okay. So Hemant walked in at that point and he says, Ambu, knowing Ash, she's going to say she's going to do her own makeup and you're going to do her hair. But I have got you here to do her hair and makeup. So nobody's going to touch her face other than you. So I rolled up my sleeves and went to work. So Ash had her eyes closed. I did her eye makeup. She opened it and she said, wow. And I was like, great. The cinematographer on that shoot was Baba Azmi. That's Shabana Azmi's brother, I think. And his camera was this massive, huge camera. And he got on top of one, I don't know, it was just like a monster of a camera. So he got behind the camera, looked through, and Ash was right in front of him. That was the first shot. And then he looked up and he says, who is the makeup artist? He yelled out and I was like, me? So he said, come here. And he said, look through this lens, please, and see what magic you have created. I won my first national award for the Sheetal ad and my third assignment. It was brilliant. The connection that Ash and I have started from there. For the Sheetal shoot, my career as a hairdresser was at its peak, I think, because if you wanted a haircut with me, it was a 3-month waiting. Then I won the award and the press just wrote about it all over the place. And then my career went through the roof. So I was a hairdresser at that point of time, but suddenly I morphed into becoming a makeup artist as well. Ash was in Delhi for a shoot, and of course she took me on as her makeup artist and hairstylist. and I called her into the salon to do her hair and makeup. It was a Tuesday shoot because the salon is shut on Tuesday. So it was kind of, we had the whole place to ourselves. I put these wavers into her hair, and even with the wavers on, she looks so stunning. So I quickly called up Sumiko, a fabulous photographer, and I said, Sumiko, can you come and take some pictures of Ash? She's in the salon. Sumiko was there in a jiffy, and we got the most beautiful pictures. Never seen herself with so many waves, and it just was so trendy and so cool and so amazing. So when Ash signed up for the movie Tal, she called me up and she said, Ambika, I want waves in my hair. I want that really soft look. So she flew down to Delhi, came to the salon, and I put a body wave into her hair. So she was styled by me from just the look of through Tal, with those soft curls and waves and all that. Yeah, we did it at the salon. Of course, she wanted me to fly with her to Toronto to do a shoot, and we did that most beautiful. I tell you, she just looked too stunning. And I was really happy to be part of Tal. I'm used to very, very long hours of hard work, but working on a movie was a different ball game altogether. I was exhausted and really early in the morning and then go on, and I was like, oh my God, this is exhausting. But I did it, and there was this one day that, halfway through the song, the whole thing was a song, right? So they're all on stage, and I had to be really close on standby because when they scream out makeup, I have to jump forward and go pat up her face and make sure that she's not sweating and all of that. And sitting on the side wings, I was so exhausted. I think I slowly just faded away, I just, like a dried flower, I just went down like that. Suddenly, Subhash guy's booming voice over the mic, Ambika Pillai, and I got up from my sleep. I was like, oh my God, what happened here? And he said, oh my God, Ambika, we just shot a whole scene with your hands stretched out onto the stage. Oh God, it was hilarious. They had to reshoot that scene. I felt pretty bad. Having said that, movies was just not my thing. I kept thinking why, and I realized it's because there's so much continuity that happens in movies. First of all, you're stuck doing one person's face, and that's not my drive. Yeah, I am in fashion, and fashion it's fast moving, and it's you come in, of course you set the look, you come in, you do a show, and it's over. For a movie, that's not how it is. It just goes on and on for days, and you're just doing that one face. Even though it's the most beautiful girl in the world, you're still only doing one face. And then there's this whole thing of continuity. There has to be a way, how many strands of hair has gone through her. And I was constantly making notes, and I was like, okay, this is something I do not want to do. I told Ash, I said, don't ever call me for a movie. And so many stars have called me and said, Ambika, please come and do this movie. Both men and women, male and female stars. But I was like, no, it's not my cup of tea, When Ash would come into town and she needed a haircut, I would spare her. Don't come to the salon. I would go to her, cut her hair in the hotel, and do all of that. So it was all great fun. So we continued, doing makeup and hair for shows and shoots, and all of that continued. Simone Sheffield is a talent manager in Hollywood. And I was speaking to her and I said, Ash is just amazing. And would you please take her to Hollywood? And she was like, I'm in retirement right now. So I said, come out of retirement and be her manager, please. Simone came out of retirement and became Ash's talent manager. And then, of course, it's all history. Yeah, Hollywood happened to Ash. When I say there was a connection, yeah, this is the connection. Yeah. Because she opened 2 of my salons, and the only way I could repay her was by asking Simone to please take her to Hollywood. And Ash was thrilled, She came on the Oprah Winfrey and all those different shows, and she did movies and all of that. And it was great going for Ash. Last time I did makeup and hair for her was some time back actually. She had come into Delhi to meet the French ambassador, and so I went to Amitabh Bachchan's house in Horse Cars, I think. That's where it is, and did her hair and makeup and got some beautiful pictures, personal pictures for myself. We still remain friends.